Trash. I'm able to burn. Chickens come over every day to... Hey guys, it's me, Florida Girl, and let's talk trash. You know, this kind of stuff. One of the things that has been really impressive or amazing to me since I moved to the country is how we get rid of our garbage, or maybe even how much garbage we used to create and were fully unaware of. I've got cardboard garbage, and with my cardboard garbage, I'm able to burn that. Here's my cardboard garbage. And the ashes from my cardboard garbage and my yard debris, sticks and stuff, all turns into ash that I'm later able to take over and put in my compost bin. Items like my old food debris, coffee grounds, that funky stuff that normally would have been washed down the garbage disposal that I don't have at this house, banana peels, all that kind of garbage goes right over here into the compost bin. Along with the items from my burn pit, the guinea pigs bedding, anything from the chicken coop that I can't reuse also goes inside this bin. This bin is about 4 foot high and about half full and is almost 1.5 years worth of my household junk. It isn't the most beautiful thing, but I find it really impressive. Yes, this is my garbage going through its metamorphosis. The chickens come over every day to check things out. They pick through and they find the little bugs that were also eating things as well. I've had many volunteer vegetables come from this. In there I have been able to raise 2 tomato plants that both produced fruit. I was also able to take out a couple of potatoes as well that were able to produce. Now I see a volunteer onion going on the other side. But these are just accidents that happen that otherwise I wouldn't have had the opportunity to have even seen or known about. Oh, I love sharing my garbage with you. Another way that I am salvaging what was at one point in time garbage, clothes for example. Here I have a shirt, and this shirt was a white cotton shirt that I picked up at my local Goodwill thrift store. And it had yellow staining under the arms from someone's deodorant in the past. Otherwise, I really liked the cut of this shirt. So my daughter and I bought some rid dye and were able to dye our clothes and give them a whole new second life. Something else you can do with your garbage that I'd never really thought about before. Many of our larger recyclable items are recycled right here and reused until they no longer serve our purpose. Here, I recently learned that I had better lock up my chicken feed or else somebody's going to try to get into it. So I lost 2 containers, but that's okay because here's a spare, there's a spare, and we seem to have quite a few of these around here. Super handy. Now, I did a little bit of thinking about this, and I counted up the number of containers that we had. These are former cat litter containers. We buy about 4 of these, maybe 6 a month, and we've got 3 cats. So as you might imagine, these kind of add up over time. This is my collection that I currently use for my food. I use a collection, certain ones for watering things around the property as well. So they've come in really, really handy on this big piece of land. However, I was throwing all of this stuff away, and never once did I ever think about the impact all of my garbage was having. Most of these items have been recycled. Sometimes we can use a metal can like this one for a planter by poking holes in the bottom of it. Or sometimes I just have fun with them and take them out in the woods and shoot them. But still, they need to be recycled afterwards. Now, today, I'm taking all of these items to the local recycle center where I can deliver them for free. And I don't have to throw them away. They're going to be recycled. Over here in this bag, I've got a whole bunch of little bitty bags, and that's what my garbage has gotten down to. Underneath my sink, I've got one small trash can that holds what I call the trash. It's the plastic wrappers from the meat and the foam trays and the things that otherwise cannot be recycled. That I throw away maybe every 2 weeks or so. I've got one large bag. This has really changed the way I throw items away. Thing seems to have a second purpose. A coffee creamer container has now, with its grips, become a water dipper, or something that I can dip in and get the food out of the feed bags. Or it's become a storage container to hold all these lids that I seem to lose that go along with those big white plastic containers. However it is, it's something that I'm recycling and reusing, and as odd as it sounds, it's kind of new to me, going from city life to country life, and being able to see just exactly how much of an impact we were once having, and how I was able to change that. Granted, we are making a little less trash than we did in the past. We're just dealing with it ourselves and handling things differently. I thought that as I was making this video, I'd take a moment and just kind of look around my garage area for how many different items I'm actually repurposing. So, let's look. Here's a great example of a handy tool. I'm repurposing an iced tea or a 1-gallon jug as a strainer or filter that I use in order to put my chicken food from its original bag into those big white containers we just looked at. We can talk about the bag itself. These bags are made out of a very heavy-duty material. I've actually seen women who know how to sew and have crafty skills repurpose these very handy. Me, on the other hand, I repurpose them as trash bags. And taking a look at some of the junk on my shelf, well, this container here didn't originally come with nuts and bolts inside of it, but it's got a great screw-on lid, and guess what it does nowadays? Houses any loose nuts and bolts I have found around the property. Kid, my father had coffee cans full of nuts, bolts, screws, electrical wire nuts and whatnot, and now I too have repurposed. I actually have nails inside of my former coffee containers. Again, just repurposing something that I otherwise, for the last 25 years of my life of living in the city, have just put in the recycle bin and had no other purpose for. In the past, I would have let the cold water run down the drain until it was hot. Today, I save it for the dogs. All of the items that I keep in this drawer are otherwise garbage. Spaghetti jars from spaghetti sauce, maybe an old jelly jar. These now will hold things like my noodles or my dehydrated vegetables like my squash or my tomatoes and kale. I have labeled the trash cans that I hide underneath the sink in hopes that it will help each family member know right where the recyclables will go. When talking about recycling, I had almost forgotten about this addition in the backyard. I'll save you looking inside, but that is a hole that I dig down about 4 feet, and I use one of my recycled cat litter containers right there to contain the cat debris from the cat's pan. And then we put it out here and we bury it out back. In the past, the way I would get rid of it when I lived in the city was I scooped it out of the cat's pan, put it into a Walmart bag, twisted it around a few times, and then dropped it into my trash can. So this is another way that we are taking care of our own garbage at our own location and taking care of things for ourselves. When it comes to old food, my chickens and my turkeys take care of my scraps as well as those of my neighbors who have been bringing those and dropping them off at our front gate for us. Turkey, he'll eat just about anything, and the same goes for the chickens as long as it's not a rotten type of food. So both of them have really enjoyed that. Then whatever is not something that they will eat, once again, will end up in the compost bin, covered up with some sort of hay or something from the guinea pigs. Talking about the guinea pigs, there's another animal that It was kind of a strange addition to the family. My daughter always wanted one, and about 2 years ago we picked him up once again when we still lived in the city. Found ourselves actually eating more fresh vegetables because I had to keep the fresh vegetables in the house for the guinea pigs. And nowadays, it's those same guinea pigs that eat up all of our vegetable scraps. So the little end of the carrot that you would normally cut off, the end of your squash, your broccolis, whatever, no longer has to go to waste. And those are things that these guys back here really won't eat unless it's chopped up small. But the guinea pigs think it's a treat. So, more recycling happening right here in my own little world. It has been a pleasure sharing my learning adventures with you today. Learning and recycling, talking about trash and other things here at Dottie's Dogwoods. This is Florida Girl Adventures. If you like what you see, give me a thumbs up and like the channel for me to be encouraged to keep on doing this. Once again, thanks for watching Florida Girl Adventures. Bye from the Whackers. Where you at, Whackers? It's me, Florida Girl, and let's talk trash. Unable to burn, chickens come over